This is Corey.
And Patricia.
And we are talking, and this is the name of our podcast.
We are talking.
And this is, if you haven't heard about Anchor Podcast, it's a free podcast. It's a free app where you can download your podcast. Right. They create certain tools that allow you to edit your own podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor, they're going to distribute your podcast, whether it's to Spotify, Apple, Google, or many more places. You also can make money from your podcast with no minimal listeners. It's easier. It's everything you need to make it a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Go.
This is Corey.
And Patricia.
And we are talking, and that's the name of our new podcast. So come and join.
Welcome.
And listen to us. This is Corey.
This is Patricia.
This is Corey and Patricia talking, and welcome to our podcast. This is an ad about voting called Democracy Works. Democracy Works is a tool created to it breaks down options of your state offers when casting a ballot and empower you to decide when to vote. It's also it helps you out. You can check it out. And you can sign up for election reminders, see what's on your ballot. It's a step-by-step assistant. And you also request mail balloting. So check out this website, Democracy Works. Thank you. This is Corey.
This is Patricia.
And this is Corey and Patricia talking. Welcome to a new episode of our podcast.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing out there this evening? Joined by my wife, Patricia. Doing all right, sweetie?
Yep, doing good.
Yeah, we back for this week. It's been a interesting and kind of a rough, challenging week, but we back. So what's been on your mind? Been up to nothing much?
Nothing much.
Oh, that's good. Well, today's episode, we were just going to touch on a few topics that have been in the news. This may be a short podcast.
Yeah.
And we may, add stuff to it and make it a complete one later in the week. But we want to thank y'all for joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot going on in the news. We just had our second presidential debate Thursday evening between President Trump, Vice President Joe Biden. We also have the stimulus package that's been in the news. Coronavirus is seeing a spike, a surge. It actually seeing a surge worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Not only in this country, but in Europe and a lot of other places around the world. And also the economy. There's a lot of things going on. And of course, the election is less than 2 weeks away. Basically a week and what is it about? It's on the 3rd, so what is that? Less than 10, 11 days?
Yeah.
And we got the election. I know with the debate Thursday night, you didn't watch the debate, did you?
Mm-mm.
Saw some clips. Well, I sat and watched it.
Nope, I didn't watch it.
Well, they wasn't screaming over each other this time. And, I wish the second debate was kind of like this. I think more people would have been, I think most people already decided how they're going to vote, but most people will probably already been kind of getting a more idea on their policies. So sometimes it could be, I think there's a lot going on with their policies, but a lot of times elections is just because they don't like the current guy.
Right.
It's not, a lot of times it's not policy. A lot of times it is. But there's a lot going on with what the direction of the country's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it. It was some interesting points. I thought Biden started strong, and Trump ended strong, in my opinion.
Right.
So it was a good debate, without the talking and yelling over each other.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like President Trump, his aides probably told him not to do that this time because it made him look unpresidential because he was under control for the most part. But I think they made the debate better. Will that help him or solidify the lead for Joe Biden? Well, it's a lead in the polls for Joe Biden, but then again, you don't know because we got the electoral college, and he may win the popular vote, but our election is decided by the electoral college, state by state. State by state, the polls are a lot closer. It looks like it's going to come down like it always do to a handful of the swing states. Like I guess Pennsylvania, Florida, North Carolina, Arizona, the swing state, and then you got the Rust Belt states. You got Wisconsin, Michigan, and Wisconsin, Michigan. Well, Trump may win Ohio. Texas is it's closer than normal. Georgia is closer than normal. So we got to see how that really pans out, And early voting has been high. Almost 60 million people have already voted.
Right.
It's this website you can go to. It's called the U.S. Elections Project. They have a lot of info, especially like how many people voted, how many people cast in. It's at 57,000. It updates every hour. As of 8 o'clock, that 57 million 333,147 votes have been cast. 39 million has been mail-in ballots, and 17 million have been in-person voting. All these states have early voting, whether you mail in your ballot, in-person voting. We already voted. We done our mail-in ballot here in South Carolina. This was pretty easy. Went to the website, South Carolina Gov.
Yep.
Or election. What's the name of that web? South Carolina Gov.
It was pretty easy.
And we just downloaded our the application, vote by mail, printed it off, filled it out, mailed it in. About a week later, we got our ballot, and we mailed our ballot off. You can go online and do all that. Let me see. I think it's SC. I'm gonna look it up for everybody, especially just for folks in South Carolina. Called scvotes.gov. You can type in SC Votes or South Carolina Election Commission. Those things to do. You can check your voter registration. You can update your voter registration. You can get a sample ballot. You can find your polling place. You can get an absentee ballot application, which we done, and you can check your absentee ballot. Basically, you can see if you already on mailed off, you can see if they received it. They have received both ours, so
yeah.
So you can check your provisional ballot. You can contact your county on their website. It was cool. Like my wife said, it was easy. When we went there, we put our info in, and it popped up, and we went and voted. Downloaded our absentee application, filled it out, mailed it in, and we received our ballot in about a week.
Yeah.
And we just filled that out. In South Carolina, you got to have a witness signature. Pretty much after you fill your ballot out, you put it in an envelope, put it in one envelope, and you put it inside the bigger envelope. You sign it, date it, then you get your witness to sign it. It has all that on the back of the bigger envelope. So you do that. You can also go to South Carolina Election Commission and check. Say if you mailed your absentee application off, it'll tell you when it's been mailed and if you received it or not. And you also check and see if they received your ballot. They received, I actually done mine like a week earlier than you did. I didn't know if you was going to vote in person or how you was going to do yours. So I went ahead and done mine. And a week when I told you that they received mine, you like, okay, go ahead and print mine. I printed yours off.
Yeah.
And I checked, they received yours about a week ago. So they already done got both of our ballots. So it's gonna be an interesting election, man. I personally think it's gonna be close. It could be a landslide, but I think the country is so evenly divided, and plus with the electoral college, it keeps it a little closer. A lot of places is just even state election, local election is just who get the most votes. But with the presidential elections, it's a little bit different. It's the electoral college is supposed to make all states equal. So if you got a huge state like not North, excuse me, California, New York, they just don't because there's so many people in California, New York. They shouldn't have more power, any more power than say South Carolina has or Maine. So some of those states that we got millions of people, but what California got what 50 million, New York got about. Texas is a big state too, so but just those couple of big states can't really decide the whole election.
Right.
Most folks in California and in New York are going to vote Democratic, so it makes the states equal, and I guess that's how the founders set it up, which is kind of unique. And I see, some people want to get rid of it because it's like it should just be vote. Most of those are Democrats, and the Republicans definitely want to keep the electoral college. Because I guess the last couple of decades, at least last 20 years, only George Bush in 2004 won a popular vote. So I think in the last 20 or 30 years, Republicans haven't won the popular vote but once. I'm gonna look that up. Okay. How many times
Lord Jesus.
have the Republican president?
Let's hope things get better.
Yeah. The economy, that's a COVID economy. I don't really blame the president for that. You really can't because COVID pretty much shut everything down. Like we spoke a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah.
All these business shutting down. Especially all these restaurants and all these service companies. Some of the movie theaters are shut down and won't open back up until 2021. And you got all these hotels that's suffering. People aren't traveling like they normally do.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna look and see. Well, that's way. Okay. It might have been. I think 2004 was definitely the last time a Republican president won a popular vote. 2004 when was Bush versus Kerry. I think when his dad won re-election. Well, his dad didn't win. His dad won an election. It was basically after Ronald Reagan 2 terms as president. George Bush Sr. won. I think him and his son probably the last 30 years. The only 2 Republicans to win the popular vote in the past 30 years. Father and son. We'll see this time because last time even Trump won, but he didn't win a popular vote. Clinton won a popular vote.
Yeah.
By 3 million. She had 3 million more votes, but he won the electoral college, which is state by state. I know she was blaming a lot of third-party candidates. They were blaming. A lot of times when you lose, you just blame everybody, man. This was the reason. She was blaming that. Blaming because she a woman, but maybe she didn't campaign as hard. Like states like Wisconsin and I think a couple of states she didn't visit in the last month or so.
Right.
Kind of cost her the election. People were saying when they released those emails, the FBI, but I don't think it was that. Sometimes you just gotta. That's what they saying now. Cause Trump he's so-called down in the polls, so he's gonna hitting all these states, and they say Biden may be taking it easy. If he is in the lead, he may not be hitting these states like Trump. That's what Trump done in 2000. He out-campaigned Hillary in 2016. Even though they say he didn't win the debates, but he out-campaigned her. He was in all these states.
Wow.
He was hitting these states that he needed to win, and he was just going back and forth to them. Go to Florida. He was going to Pennsylvania. He was going to, Michigan. And he won Wisconsin. When he won all those states like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Republicans haven't won those states in a long time. Obama won it twice, and I think before him it was who was that? Kerry. I think Kerry won. I gotta look and see which states he won, but a lot of those states, especially Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, Trump was the first Republican in a long time to win those states. And he just out campaigned her.
Yeah.
You know, of course, and we got with the stimulus package. With the stimulus package, you don't think you think they may have a deal. You think they're gonna get one before the election? You don't know.
It's hard to say now. I'm like you. This is gonna be after the election.
Yeah, most likely it's gonna be after the election. It's an election and they ain't giving in. The Democrats in the House passed their version, but voted down the Republican version that's in the Senate, and the Republican Senate, controlled by the Republicans, voted down the Democratic House version.
Which is the White House, right?
The House, the Congress, led by Nancy Pelosi. The senators, the Senate, which is led by Republicans, the House, which is the Democrats, got the majority because they can't agree. They each pushing their own plan, and Trump just wants something done before the election, but it looks like nothing's going to get done. May not even get done this year. Just say if he loses, he may pass one, or he may wait to Biden. If Biden wins, get one done. But he doesn't get sworn in until after January 20th, 21st.
Yeah.
That's 3-4 months away. But I don't know. And stimulus, that may not get done.
Yeah.
Also, what's in the news?
And it's gonna be a few weeks for it.
Yeah, they got an election less than 10 days. On top of that, you got the surge in COVID cases, coronavirus in the surge.
Mm-hmm.
Not just here, but worldwide. In Europe, it's spiking out everywhere. It's the flu season. I wonder what the flu numbers are like. You ever heard anything about that?
Mm-mm.
Because of COVID. I'm trying to look. So we so confirmed with COVID. Nobody ain't saying anything about the flu. A lot of they symptoms and COVID symptoms kind of similar. You think if you got the flu, something they may just say you got COVID just to have those numbers high.
Wow.
Okay, I'm looking at some data. This from September. Number of positive specimens. It says only been 120 cases of the flu. They don't even sound right. Alright. Trying to read about the flu. The COVID numbers are spiking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm on somebody's website, Rochester Regional Health. They may be combining their numbers. They're not saying much. With the flu, they got all kinds of flu. They got the bird flu, they got influenza A. You remember the swine flu?
Yeah.
I think it mutates every year, so the flu shot basically changes every year. And maybe I wonder if the same thing is going to happen with COVID. Is it going to mutate? I'll look that up for another time.
Yeah.
Look up COVID numbers. I know it's surging here and in Europe. on NPR right now. Just saying COVID is surging in rural communities, overwhelming some local hospitals. You know, rural communities, everything's spread out. And this, COVID has become so politicized that, they like the Democrats are trying to do this huge mandate. They want you to wear your mask.
Right.
And a lot of Republicans, they don't believe the numbers, and they're not big fan of wearing a mask.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes so politicized. People, you got to kind of look. I always like to look around the different sources. I'm on Wall Street. I just read something from NPR. I'm gonna go to Wall Street Journal. It said COVID-19 cases are rising in the broader swaths of the country, and some remote areas this time.
Mm.
Said getting acute in the Midwest and the Rocky Mountains. Several states reported more than 2,000 new infections Thursday, while cases in two summer hotspots, California and Florida, has picked back up to 5,000. And I know Florida's kind of opened back up. You expect their numbers to go up, but California's been kind of locked. They've been locked down a long time. I think they got a little more freedom, but they're one of them places that want to lock down more, and their numbers. There's a lot of people in California too, so
Yeah.
but their numbers are going up.
Okay.
I still want to look at these new flu cases. Guess you gotta take care of yourself. Try to eat good, eat rest. This right here is showing something from April. I'm trying to look for something right now.
Yeah.
You got anything to add, baby?
No, I don't. Mm-mm. Nope.
Alright, I'm trying to look at these flu. I'll go to the news part. People keep saying the flu, see, it is flu season, but they keep talking about COVID.
Okay.
Alright, I want to thank y'all for joining us. We'll finish this. And this is Corey.
It's Patricia.
This is Corey Patricia talking. Y'all take care.